Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Jess. I'm so glad that you guys are joining me because today we are doing a reading journal flip through for February. We're also going to go ahead and kind of update some things for March as well as we go. So for my new viewers, welcome. My returning viewers, welcome back. I am ready to talk about books, so let's jump into it. Before I start, I will jump in and say that I finished 3 physical books, but I only have one of them because 2 of them I actually sold. So maybe I should like start listing them on Pango after I record this video. But anyways, yeah, this is the only physical book that I still have that I finished. The other 2, and I'll talk about those as I go. But yeah, I was very proud of myself for that. Okay, so the whole point of the video is my reading journal, so let's jump into it. We're just going to go straight to the yearly reading challenge. So some of this is updated as of today, which is March 10th. I have read 29 books as of March 10th. As of February, though, it was 24. I did 13 in January, 11 in February. So here's my January wrap up. And by the way, the majority of these pages, like just about every single page in my notebook, is available on my Etsy shop. I will post a link down below that has a discount code that will be available through, let me pull up a calendar. I'm thinking, let's say it's going to be available through April 7th. So if you want to purchase reading journal printables, you can check out my Etsy shop. Appreciate your support. I'm hoping to come out with some new ones. I'm trying to find a balance of time right now. But anyways, 24 as of February, but 29 as of March 10th. This is my January wrap up. January's book of the month was Butcher and Blackbird. And then February, I have, like I said, 11 books, 3,929 pages. Here's the 11 books that I read. Mother-Daughter Murder Night, It's a Date Again, and Flirty Little Secret were the physical books. I chose The Good Part as my book of the month. It is magical realism. It has time travel. And oh my God, it is like amazing. I love Sophie Cousins. And I felt like that this is probably one of her absolute best. And I legitimately cried at the very end of the book. Because like the ending just kind of tore me apart. So it was a very, very good book. Yearly review. This is a page where I basically write down like how many books each month by like the format. And then I put the total. So it's just fun, in my opinion, to be able to look at it from an overly view. I do have this available as physical and Kindle, and I will have a version coming out soon that's going to have Kindle and audio. And then we have my top book of 2024. So I'm doing this fun little bracket to kind of pick out like my top book. So January, Butcher and Blackbird, February, The Good Part. I now have to choose between those 2. I'm pretty sure I'm going to pick Butcher and Blackbird, though. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not deciding yet. I'm not deciding until the end of March. And then we go to my monthly calendar. So the monthly calendar, I have this little sheet right here in the middle where I basically kind of keep notes. So books purchased, books sold, books that I donated to Little Free Library, how many books that I DNF'd, and then how many books did I read for Kindle, audio, or physical. And then on the calendar, I basically write down when I started a book and when I finished a book. So here is February. So February, I may have purchased a lot of books. I purchased 10 books during the month. I don't know what happened. Like I legitimately still do not know what happened. Let me kind of go back here. I purchased 4 in January. I don't know. but I promise you those counts are correct. I did purchase a lot of books. I also sold a lot of books. So 19 books I actually sold to Half Price Bookstore. Unfortunately, I really didn't get a lot of money from that. But then I sold 3 on Pango, which I tend to get closer to what I purchased it for. And then I did not DNF any books. So I'm going to go ahead and write a 0. And then again, we go into the 3 physical, 6 audio, and 2 Kindle. And then when I started a book and when I finished a book. So I really, really like keeping like this little sheet right here. I think it's a fun way to kind of write down everything. And then I really like tracking on the monthly calendar. And I did decide for these monthly calendars, I will not be decorating them because I really just don't need to. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up March before we continue on. So I am going to, first of all, we need a sticker book. I have been using the Essential Dates and Numbers. I'm just going to grab one of like these little gold monthly. I think these can go on the tabs. I don't use them for like the tabs of my monthly calendar, so I like to use them for this instead. And I also need the little stickers that I have been using for like my audio and such. And those I get from JoJo Apple Prints. I had to think about that for a second. I know where I buy them from, trust me. But yeah, so JoJo Apple Prints, she's the one that I use for them. Where are they? All right, so these are the stickers. So I love these so much. I think that they're so cute, but we're gonna go ahead and start just writing down my categories. And then let's go ahead and we're gonna do a blue for this month. So blue audio, blue physical. The Kindle doesn't get a specific color because they're all the same. I have not purchased anything this month. I have not sold and I have not DNF'd anything. So I'm not going to do anything else for this with the exception of updating it based on books that I've read. So I use Goodreads for basically like tracking my books and such. I have read 5 books so far. And here's the kicker. I have read 1, 2, 3 for audio. And I have read 1 for physical and 1 for Kindle. So yeah, so How You Get the Girl was audio, which I had the Kindle, but I ended up just doing the audio instead. The Breakup Vacation was Kindle. Finding Mr. Perfect was physical. The Reappearance of Rachel Price and Funny Story were both audio. So we're going to go ahead and go back here, and then we're just going to set up our monthly calendar. All right, so since I'm using, for the monthly calendar, I am using the Happy Planner Plans and Notes. So they come with some sheets of stickers because of the fact that they are undated. So I'm just going to go ahead, really quickly date this up, and I'll speed through that part. So one thing I'm not going to like about March is the fact that the 24th and the 31st are both going to be on the same day. That is definitely going to complicate things. So I think maybe what I will do is I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to like put like a line that will kind of separate the days. And then that way I know exactly like where to put my starting book, each of those days, put the book that I finished, that sort of thing. And then we're going to go ahead and update it based on the books that I have read. So I'm going to kind of talk through this, and then after that, I will just go ahead and update it, but speed it through. Because it's March, and March is St. Patrick's Day, we are going to use green for the starter. We're going to use brown for the finish. And then if I happen to have a book that I read all in one day, we are going to use orange. So here's my colors. I basically mark it as like start same day and then finish. I did have some books that I started in February, but I didn't finish them until March. So let's go ahead and do this. So first of all, I'm going to take this actually off of the discs just because it's a little bit easier. But I did have two books that I finished. Wrong one. Actually, I do want to use this. Okay, so I had one book that I finished on the 3rd. I have a book that I started on the 5th. Oops, wrong one. Oh no. Okay, I don't think I finished any books on the 5th, so I'm just going to wipe that out. That looks better. And then I have a book that I finished on the 10th. So let's go ahead and do those first. I do have a book that I started today. I actually have two books. No. One book that I started. I was thinking about starting another book, but I didn't. But I started the book Hurricane Wars. That is a book club read, so I need to actually read it. And then for this page, this is where we have two books that I finished on the 1st. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself 2 lines for that. I have a book that I finished on the 8th, and that's all. And then I have a book that I started on the 9th, and I believe that that is, no, I will need to do more start just because I need to actually go to the books that I am currently reading. So let me go ahead and fill in these lines. Now I'm going to go to the books that I'm currently reading. So that's not what I wanted. Okay, so just for the summer, that is one of the books that I'm currently reading, and I started that on the 3rd. And then the other book that I'm currently reading, See You Yesterday, I actually started that in February, but I'm not finished yet. So that one I am also not reading. Don't start up that focus, please. But yeah, so that is all for the calendar. Okay, and I always like to count it just to make sure. So that's done for that. And then we're going to go, so these are all just monthly calendars. And then we go to this book's read. So I have on the little card my star rating. Let's go ahead and update this as well. Let's go back to my books. So this one, basically what I do is I just color code it based on how I rated the book. So we have a 4-star. And again, this Books Read is another page that I made. I'm actually going to go ahead and do like all of the 4 stars, and then we'll do the 3-star, and then we'll do the 5 stars. I always just like to color them in first, and then I go in and I write. So 3-star is pink. Maybe next year for my Books Read, I will color code them maybe by like the genre. I think that could be really cool. And then we have 2 5-star books. And for the stacks, I always like to start at the very bottom first. Okay, so let's go ahead and write these in. All right, so once this is done, we will move on. So the way that I set up my Books Read is I have one sheet that has the header on it, and on the back side, it does not have a header. And then I have one page, front and back, that I actually trimmed off the header, so then that way I can look like that. And because, I don't know, I just really, really like how that looks. This is going to go in here only, like, I do tend to use this for my next few pages, but I think that those ones are already updated, so I don't think I have to do anything for those. But even if I do, I remember what I rated them, so no problem for that. All right, so then we have my monthly arcs. This is basically where I put down like what arcs that I have that are publishing each month, so then that way I can try to make sure that I read them ahead of time. I have 2 more books that are publishing in March. I think one of them's already published, so it's on my next to read. And then I have a physical book of One Moment. So this is as soon as I'm done with my current physical book, then I will be reading this one. So 2 more books. I'm trying to finish up the book that I'm currently reading now. And then this is the July through December of the monthly arcs. Then we have my A to Z challenge, which basically I have been, like the A to Z challenge is you put in a book that starts with each letter of the alphabet. I am going based off of 5-star books, and I'm not using books that have the word "the" in the title. If it gets to the end of the year, I may go back and use them. But that's why I only have 3 books on there, because I'm only doing 5-star. I could technically put in Funny Story because I finished it today. So let's do that. All right. And then we go to my monthly TBR. So basically I give myself books that I want to read each month. And then if I don't read them that month, I actually move them to the following month. So let's go ahead and update March, because I need to move these 2 books over there. Wait a minute. Oh, I already have them on there. Never mind. Just kidding. But yeah, so these are like the books that I kind of tell myself, this is what I want to read. Like these are my definite that I want to read, and I try to do it. So we have January through March, April through June, July through September, October through December. And then we have my monthly arcs. This is basically where, like, these are the arcs that I want to actually read this, like, in that particular month. So if I don't read it in one month, I do move it to the next month. And then just continue on. So this month, I gave myself 6 that I wanted to read. I'm really only a third of the way done with Just for the Summer. But yeah, we'll see. We will see what I can get through. And then the 24 books in 2024, I actually have a list ready, and I went to print them out yesterday, and then the ink wasn't dry and I messed it up. So I need to reprint it out. But I went ahead and kind of updated it. I'm doing one that is must read on TBR. And then I was thinking about doing one that was like specifically for YAs, but I don't know if I'm going to do the YA edition, but maybe I'll just do 2 24 and 24s. We'll see. And then my Create Your Own Bingo, which I'm doing January through March, Clear Your Shelves. This is actually just like a blank page, and I just put in the stickers. Let me go back here because I know I have an extra copy. So this is what it looks like. And I forgot to print out the picture for Flirty Little Secret because I did these two and then this one. So I need to print that out when I go to actually print out for March. And then we have Bookopoly. Basically, Bookopoly is like your book version of Monopoly, where each prompt you tie to a book. So we have a log. I've been keeping up with the log for adding the book in, and then I have been putting like a little tab over that spot, so then that way I can also be able to look at this and see, oh, I only need one more in the blue, I need 2 more for the green, and so on. And then we go to my book club reads. So I'm in part of a couple book clubs, and I'm just basically tracking the books that we are reading. And then I'm adding in the picture. So there's another one. And then here's this one. We actually had a books for March, but I didn't get a chance to read them. We had the author chat like early in the month. So I ended up skipping that, and then I will fill it in when we do the one for May. And then this is like for buddy reads, which I'm not really keeping up with this, so I may end up taking this out. And then we go to my genre in pixels, and I think that this is all updated. So basically, I can take that out. So I gave each genre that I tend to read during the year a color, and then I'm just tracking it on this pixel sheet. So for February, I read 7 romance, 3 thrillers, 1 mystery. So far for February, I've read 4 romance and 1 mystery. And then time reading in pixels. Yellow means that I read up to 1 hour that day. Green means I read approximately 1 to 2 hours. And then purple means I read 2+ hours. So definitely see that there is a lot of purple. I will say though, for like the first week of March, like the first full week, there were 4 days that I honestly did not read very much at all. And then daily reading in pixels is basically where I fill in how I read, or like what format that I read each month. So I have one for physical, we have one for Kindle, and we have one for audiobook. I'm going to go ahead and fill in for the 10th because I did take some time to read my physical book today. And as you see, I haven't touched it since the 29th. And then Kindle, I'm not filling it in yet, but I'm going to try to read my Kindle tonight. And then I've been listening to an audiobook today. Oh my goodness, Duke. And then my low spend tracker. So this is basically where like I'm trying to hold myself accountable for when I spend money on books. So this is what I spent. This is what I did for January. Now, I kind of gave myself like a lot of loopholes with the rules for January and February. My goal was to spend less than 20 books a month. Spend less than $20 a month on books. I'm not doing very well with that. So, I mean, as you see, I have a lot of no spend days. So that there's one perk. But I do want to change this to where we're going to continue to use blue as the spend and pink as the no spend, or pink as a spend, pink as no spend, blue as spend. So what I need to decide is how I want to do the rules. So my original rules were I'm allowed to purchase one book up to $20 a month. The money not spent will roll over. If more than one book is purchased, the additional books will be saved for December. So I actually have like quite a few books from this month that I should be saving for December. I just need to like wrap them up for an advent calendar. And I just haven't done that yet. I'm a slacker. Okay, but anyways, my goal is going to stay the same, where I spend less, or what did I say? Yeah, spend less than $20 on books a month. So here's where I need to kind of figure out my rules. So number one, am I counting book of the month, and am I counting aardvark? And if so, then I need to hold myself accountable for that. So I don't quite know what I'm going to do for the rules just yet. I think I'm going to think on the rules, and then maybe like when I do my next video, I will let you guys know what I decide, but let's at least go ahead and set up this month. I'm just going to fill in the dates. I will grab a monthly sticker from the Essential Dates and Numbers, and I'm going to speed it up as I do it. All right, so like I mentioned, I will think on the rules, and then I will do like a reading journal update video later this month, and then that's when we will talk about the rules that I'm setting in place. All right, then we come to my reading tracker. I really like this kind of like in a list format because I can be able to see the format of the book I read, the title, the author, the dates that I read it, and then my star rating. So this is all the way through what I've read, finished as of today. And then we have my ARC tracker. So basically I'm writing down the publishing date, the title of the book, the author, whether I read it, and then whether I have left a review on NetGalley/Goodreads, and then the star rating. And if it is a book that if it's a book that I DNF, I give it a 1 star, but I also write under red DNF. So that has gone through here because this is not all of the books that I've read in 2024. This does include some from 2023, but I went ahead and included them on here because they were publishing in January. And then library holds. This sheet I'm actually changing. I created a version that instead of rating, it has money saved. So when I get a book from the library, which I'm only counting physical books, which I could technically count audiobooks as well. I may do that. I may count audiobooks too, but anyways, the date that it checked out, the title, the author, the date that it's due, and then the star rating. But then I'm changing it to where it's like money saved. So like for this one, it was like, I think it was like $18.99 that I saved because it's a hardcover book. And then we come to my books rating page. So this is where I have like a picture of the book, the title, the author, the format, the date read, and then I'm using this fun star washi that I got from Archer and Olive in a subscription box from 2023, and I'm putting down the stars. So this way it's just like a fun little way to flip through it and see all of the books that I've read. I have gone through February, but I haven't done March yet, and I'm not going to do March until I actually print out the photos. I'm also going to have to print out more of these pages too. And then after that, it's just like some extra pages that I have in here and then my stickers. But yeah, there's my reading journal. Okay, so before I end this, I want to kind of share with you some of the books that I'm planning on reading this month. So we have One Moment by Becky Hunter. You kind of move that. And then we have The Bodyguard by Katherine Center. And then Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I honestly do not know how to pronounce her name, but you can see it right here. Yeah, so there we go. All done. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. Thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell. Check out my Etsy shop. I've got the 15% off link down below if you want to get your own reading journal printables that I offer in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and enjoy the next video.